Well, Proverbs 18 is continuing this idea of wisdom, comparing being foolish and being wise, and the challenges and benefits that come from those. So, verse 1, through desire a man, having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. When the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach. So another way to think about this, when wickedness comes, contempt comes also, and with dishonor comes disgrace. That is the NRSV's interpretation of that verse. So realize again, being foolish, being wicked is short-lived, and then you got problems. It's gonna just beget more issues and problems. So being right, being correct, doing it the right way, being honest, having integrity in what you do is the better way to go. Not the easiest way, but the better way to go. Verse 4, the words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. So if you have somebody who is wise, who can really teach you and help you, that is great. That is somebody you want to be associated with. If they're not, it's not a good thing. They'll just give you a whole lot of heck of nothing. Verse 5, it is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. So you want to be careful of that. So it's not right to be partial to the guilty or to subvert the innocent in judgment. So another good way to think about those things basically is realize what is really true, what is really right, and what is really wrong, and be careful about getting those mixed up. Verse 6, a fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes, meaning hitting other people. You're verbally abusive of other people. Verse 7, a fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. So if you're a fool, you're going to get caught in your own discussions. Your own words are going to trip you up and snare you, basically. Verse 8, the words of a tale-bearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. So again, verbal abuse is not a good thing. Be very careful with this. We shouldn't be harassing and belittling people. Verse 9, he also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. So again, if you're slothful, you usually are wasting things. You are being very wasteful. This is kind of that Master Mahan principle, if you think about it, that we are not even valuing our own life, which is where that slothfulness is coming in and wasting things. We're wasting our life. Verse 10, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So if you have a strong tower, that is early warning and protection for you from invading armies and wickedness. Verse 11, the rich man's wealth is his strong city, as an high wall in his own conceit. So being wealthy is nice. You can build a wall. You can protect yourself and defend yourself. You can use the things of this world to take care of you, basically. But the problem is verse 12, before destruction the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. So you need to realize that as you are doing things, wealth can help you, but only so far. You can still die and still have problems. Even though you can protect yourself physically, spiritually, and emotionally, you can still have problems. Verse 13, he that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame to him. How often does that happen? You have a solution before you've even heard the problem. You just assume you know what's going on, and you start fixing it before you even realize what's really going on with it. Take the time to seek understanding with people. Very, very important thing to do. Verse 14, the spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear? If you get injured, your spirit can help you, that drive and desire. But a wounded spirit, if you have no drive or desire, that's even harder to recover from and deal with when you get into depressions and anxieties and challenges. So be very careful in working with those people and very helpful of them. Verse 15, the heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. A man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. So, learning, understanding things, not just hearing things. Again, don't go a mile wide and an inch deep. Go a mile deep and an inch wide. Really understand things. Seek wisdom. Seek truth in what you do. That is going to continue to help you in improving your life. Verse 17, he that is, I just read that one. Verse 18, sorry. The lot causeth contentions to cease, and parteth between the mighty. So another way, casting lots puts an end to disputes and decides between powerful contenders. So meaning, we're going to roll the dice. Even it's me, odds it's you, kind of a thing. Basically, we're going to. Sometimes you have to just go, okay, look, we're going to settle dispute with a random search, basically. Verse 19, a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle. Ooh, that's good advice. Good advice. This is an important one to think about. So offending people, getting them to come back after you've offended them, is harder than trying to conquer a city, basically. So this is where section 121, verse 41 through 43 makes such a difference, of realizing that when we work with people, we need to approaching them from love and kindness, from patience, long-suffering, charity. Those kinds of things will help. So we're not causing an offense to others. Verse 20, a man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. So what we say, again, what we say is coming from what we think, and what we think is coming from what we understand. And what we understand is coming from what we're willing to learn. So we just understand that process. Verse 21, death and life are in the power of the tongue. They that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Very, very important. What we say has power with it. Not just metaphorically, but it has real power in what we say. We can say things that affect other people. So be careful what we say. Be careful with that. Verse 22, this is always a good one. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord. Now, Joseph Smith changes this one a little bit and says, whoso findeth a good wife hath obtained favor of the Lord. So it's not just finding a wife, but finding a good wife is important for us to be doing. And I would say that goes both ways. Finding a good husband is the same for women. Verse 23, the poor useth entreaties, but the rich answereth roughly. So the poor use entreaties, meaning they are trying to beg. They're trying to ask for help. But the rich are like, no. The rich are more judgmental about it and not helpful and kind. Verse 24, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. So being kind and nice to people is very, very important, and it's something we should always be focusing on and doing. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Like and subscribe to the channel as well, and share these videos out with others, and we'll see you in the next chapter.